saying you switch and you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, You be liking my flavor, I think it's cause ice on the wrist, on the wrist, on the wrist. Watch out for this. I never switch, I never switch, I never switch, I never switch. Ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist, ice on the wrist,
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C. That's where the home of the Washington Redskins resides, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. To an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Washington Redskins. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, they go right back to Hunt. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll get inside of Washington's 15 before being taken down. A big run by Kareem Hunt, 42 yards.
First down, New Orleans.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Saints take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. Lutz good on the extra point. And it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 21. First carry for Darius Geis. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Geis with a carry on 2nd down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Let's get off the field.
3rd and 2, now Haskins. Jordan Reed has it. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a 1st down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll run with Geis. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. A couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
47's the mic, boy. 47. Check, 47. Here we go, here we go. No, Mike's 47. Mike's 47.
On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs. Now leads to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Sheldon Rankins. The offensive line is in tatters as that's now 3 sacks in 3 plays. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up the score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
That's it, baby. We go work. Here we
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Whip. Watch the whip. Check nickel. Switch.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. On the run, this is Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think it'll help set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11. On 1st down, it's Hunt, and that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Second and 14. Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Moore. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 15-yard line. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
2 minutes on the clock, 2nd quarter, 7-0 ball game. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. He'll drop to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. That's Daron Payne with a sack that time.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. 51's the mic. 51's the mic. All day, dog.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now a run with Geis. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Looking to throw, Haskins. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Haskins looking to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. 2nd down, Haskins. Slings this deep from McLaurin. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's Haskins. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Chidobe Awuzie there to make the play in coverage.
Incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lamb. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. 3rd down, here's Haskins. And he finds McLaurin. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. From the 29, Haskins. And this is Gabriel on the catch. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. A pretty good-looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. Short.
Now Haskins to throw on 2nd down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
You got tight. You got tight right there.
2nd and 9 now. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
Well, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
They run with Hunt, and not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. This time, Haskins will look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
At the 30-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
That's it. Get up the field, defense. He's coming.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Hunt. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
This is where his eyes told him everything he needed to know. As a linebacker, when you're sitting at the 2nd level and you can see everything in front of you, that play just developed right in front of him, and he got there in a hurry and made a really nice play.
Mike 51, quick turn. 51 to Mike.
They'll set up to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46.
Hey, pick your game up. Check 52.
Now it's Hunt. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's more. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And we've seen drive after drive come up empty for them, and they've yet to dent the scoreboard, yet still right in the middle of a one-score game.
So this is where you absolutely have to forget everything that's happened in your previous drives. They don't matter right now. You just mentioned it. One-score game. This drive here can erase all of what happened previously.
Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on it. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. That one goes for 24 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. Geis, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Here's Geis. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Here's Haskins to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Second and 13. And he finds Corey Davis. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. He'll look to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Hunt. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Tighten up. Tighten up. Both goes to Mike. Mike up. Better bring it.
They'll run again with Hunt. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. The Redskins on 3rd down, putting an extra man here in the secondary. They'll look to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. It's a gain of 4, and that should just about seal the deal. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Let's go. Let's go.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And not all W's are created equal, CD, and this one came in shutout fashion.
Well, their offense certainly didn't need to do anything, right? They could take the day off, and they did. But the defense, they carried them in a big way.
Yeah, look, the offense, obviously stuff to work on, but they did enough, and the defense carried the load.
But you know what they say, it's always fun to work on things if it didn't go well in your game with a victory in your pocket. And that's what they've got going forward.